Okay guys, Philly Boy J back here with another video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make homemade crispy fried onion rings. I've already peeled these two onions. As you can see there, I've already peeled them. Peeled the skin off. And this is the way you want to cut your onions, like this. Kinda like a half an inch wide. About that wide there. Okay. Now when it comes to onion rings, what you want to do is you want to use the onions on the end and remove the onions in the middle, because they're really small, unless you like really small onion rings like that. So I'm going to press the middle through, and remove that. And we're only going to use the last three onions, that one and these two. Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. We're going to get a big bowl, and we're going to place the onions in a bowl of water. So that we can easily remove the skin, you know, that clear stuff that's on the onions. Now this clear stuff right here is going to come off the onions. That's what we want. We don't want to fry our onions with that stuff on there. So we're going to let these sit for about 25 to 30 minutes. And while this is sitting, we're going to move on to the next step and focus on the other ingredients and things that we need to do. Alright? By the way, I'm not making that many onion rings as you see. Just doing this for video purposes because this is what somebody requested. But I'm only going to make a few. So let's move on to the next step. Okay, so as you can see, we have a lot of ingredients here. What we're going to do first though is we're going to get a pan. Into that pan we're going to add some Japanese style panko seasoned breadcrumbs. Okay, about 2 cups. There go our breadcrumbs. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to combine some dry ingredients. We're only going to use a small amount of flour. About a half a cup. And this is going to be the first thing that we dip our damp onion rings in. Going to add just a little pepper. Going to add a little salt. Going to add about a teaspoon of cornstarch. Going to add a little bit of baking soda, just a little bit, about a half a teaspoon. Going to add a little garlic powder. And cayenne pepper is totally optional, but just to give it a little spice, I'm gonna add just a teeny bit of cayenne pepper. We're gonna stir this in really well. Last but not least, we're going to mix our wet ingredients. I'm going to be using 2 eggs. There's our 2 eggs. To the eggs, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of milk. And about 2 squirts of hot sauce for additional flavor. 2 to 3 squirts, that is. We're going to stir that in. And now we're going to get our onion rings. They should be done soaking in the water. So what you're going to do is one by one, you're going to peel that skin off of the onions, pull that clear skin off, and you're going to sit them on a plate. So peel this off one by one and then sit them on a plate. I'll coat them like this, and as you can see there, the flour is thickened because the onions are still fairly wet. That's why you want to begin coating the onions in the flour almost immediately after you take them out of the boiled water, and you're going to set them aside like that. So let me get done coating the rest of these, and then I'm going to show you how they look when I'm done. Okay, so here's our coated onion rings. We're going to begin dipping them into the egg wash now. So let's move on to the next step and dip them into the egg wash. Okay guys, so sometimes what I do is a double coating even with my onion rings, just like with my mozzarella sticks. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your onions and you have to make sure that they are fully covered in egg. This is the most important step because the egg is the gluing agent that's going to allow the breadcrumbs to stick. So you have to make sure that every part of the onion is fully coated in egg like that. Then you're going to drop them in the breadcrumbs and cover them really fastly. Now panko breadcrumbs don't seem to stick as well as plain breadcrumbs, I notice. So this is the reason why I like to double coat when making anything with panko breadcrumbs. Okay, so I'm gonna coat it again. Okay, and then I'm gonna place it, after I drain the excess egg, place it back into the panko. Okay, I'm gonna kind of press the panko breadcrumbs onto the onion ring. Make sure it's well coated, like that, on every side, because the egg is the gluing agent, is what glues the breadcrumbs to the onion. Then I'm going to set it aside. Alright, I'm going to get a pot, Gonna place it over medium-high heat. Gonna add our oil, about 2 to 3 inches high, because you want to make sure that the onions are covered in oil. We're gonna let that oil go for about 5 minutes, and just to make sure that the breadcrumbs stick to the onions, I'm gonna add some regular breadcrumbs, because like I said, panko doesn't stick well, so I'm gonna add some regular breadcrumbs on top of the onions. Let it sit in that until the oil's hot and ready. Really want to make sure these are well coated. Sometimes panko just don't do the job by itself. You gotta kind of mix it with regular breadcrumbs. Regular breadcrumbs are a little more, they're smaller, so they stick better than panko, Japanese panko. So once the oil get hot, you're gonna add your onion rings. And onion rings only take about 2 minutes to fry. Don't want to fry these long at all. And we're only going to add about 4 at a time. I'm going to turn them over. Then once they brown on that side, you're going to take them out. And that's the way they should look, nice and golden brown like that. Look at that. And as you can see, they're all done. Look at that. Looks beautiful. Tastes good too. Yes.